So let's talk about what we're going to talk about. This is a project I'm going to be showing you guys, a project that I've been working on for more than 18 months. And so in software development, that's a heck of a long time. How this project and how this software is already a must-have in business, and it's a business software system that is already in use in big organizations. As we've had people help us create the program, we've had people all over the world and big companies jump in. It's been amazing to get the feedback. We've got iPhone and Android apps in the stores ready to go, and this is, as I said earlier, we're not playing. This is the real deal. So before we get into too many details, I wanted to tell you about the story, how this came to pass. See, I was actually reading an article here in Australia about an airline, which you've probably heard of, is called Qantas. And this particular article happened where a lady was standing in the check-in line, checking in for a flight, and she had a bad experience. In fact, she had an unbelievably terrible experience. And so she said, "This is the worst airline experience I have ever had." But of course, in today's digital age, she didn't keep that to herself. She tweeted that with over 200,000 followers. With over 200,000 followers. Now, what do you think that's worth? The damage that that does is absolutely incomprehensible to a business that spends tens of thousands of millions of dollars on advertising, not just an airline, but any company. To have that kind of thing go out across social media is just completely devastating. In fact, to put some numbers on it, there was an article in The Telegraph, which is over in the UK, that bad reviews and online trolls costing UK businesses up to £30,000 per year. And depending where you are in the world to do the conversion, if you're in the States, talk about $50,000 per year. Okay? If we're here in Australia, I think it's even a little bit more than that. And there was a study, it's called the Cone study, that went on to show that the average business every business is one customer away from a bad review. And what they're saying is 80% of customers, 80%, that's 4 out of 5, change their mind about purchasing when they read a single bad review. All right? A single bad review. And you guys have been there. I mean, let me know. Have you had a review where you've actually seen something online and you've changed your mind? Maybe they don't actually sound like they know what they're doing. Is that something that you guys have done? Because I know I have. I've looked at online reviews. We might be shopping, we might be going to a restaurant, we might be looking for a hotel, and it's the reviews that make that decision for us. And the Cone study literally showed that 80% of people will move on to another business if they see those bad reviews. So that same article in The Telegraph went on to talk about the fact that over 30% of businesses are spending between £11,000 and £20,000 per year trying to combat this, and a worrying 18% have spent up to £30,000. Again, that's $50,000 on challenging malicious online posts. There's a PR company, public relations company, that actually went on, again, quoting that same study. They put some numbers against it, and they said, what if your annual customer value was just $3,000? Yeah? And I mean, that's going across a lot of range of industries. If you're in the car industry or the housing or finance, your customer value might be a lot higher than that. But, if we're taking an average, just look at 3,000. And if you're just losing 4 customers per month, that's 48 per year, which is a potential loss of $144,000. Right? Do you think businesses are scared? See, the reality is, and you and I both know this, that bad press hits the web fast. And as we talked about, if people see this stuff, this makes buying decisions in an instant. We've all done it. We've looked at a review and we've said, "Ooh, that's not so great." The bad press hits the web fast. So we go back to this story where someone in the checking line is having a bad experience. She jumps onto Twitter and she says, "That's the worst airline experience I've ever had." But that's not the end of the story, because it's not necessarily about that bad review. It's how you handle it. See, coming from there, I have to go back to my own roots, if you like. Coming out of school, I went straight into hospitality, from hospitality into sales, from sales into software. But in the hospitality industry, very early on in my career, I was progressing well. I was, getting promoted, supervisory levels, and then junior management. And it was in a junior management role that I actually got taught this incredible lesson. And this is in the days before Twitter and Yelp and TripAdvisor. And so I was managing a restaurant. I was actually over in New Zealand, managing a restaurant over there at the Stanford Plaza. And in a junior management role, what happened was I had a customer come into the restaurant, and they put their order in, and guess what? No food was coming. Have you ever done that? Have you put your order in with the waiter and it's like, hello, where's the food? You know, they're waiting and they're waiting. And as I'm looking at this customer, the longer they're waiting, guess what's happening? The angrier they're getting, right? And again, we've been here. So I did the only thing I could think of, which was run and hide, which is completely the wrong thing to do. I ran and hid. I ran to the kitchen. I hid. I started yelling at the chefs. Come on, guys, hurry up. Oh, my God, they're going to kill. They've been waiting half an hour for their food. Come on. And I kept looking out of the kitchen at the customer. The customer kept getting angrier. And this was an absolute disastrous experience. Thank God it was before Yelp and TripAdvisor, because honestly, we would have got slammed. But it was a senior manager that stepped in and said, okay, let me tell you how to solve this. And it's very simple. And in fact, we do this with one simple word, and that word is communication. Okay, so he took me aside and he said, this is what we do. We communicate. And if you go across to the table and you say, look, Mr. Customer, I'm sorry, the meals are running a little bit late. Can I buy you a drink from the bar? You know, be comfortable, and it shouldn't be more than 10 minutes or so, but I'll keep an eye out for you. You know, if that's you, let me know. Is that something that would placate you, I guess? Is that where you would be able to say, yeah, I understand, you know, these things happen, whatever it is. So there we go. It's, you know, is that something that you would relate to if we had that kind of opportunity? So I'm getting people, yes, yes, yes. So if somebody comes across and says, you know, the meal's running late, sorry for that. Can we buy you a drink? I'm sure, you know, we're going to be not happy, but at least placated. And that's what happened. Where we had the customers, they go from an angry customer and they turn into great customer by that one thing, which is communication. All right? Communication is the key. If you can communicate, then you can turn any situation around. And so we come back to our airline story, and that's where customer service stepped in, right? Customer service intervened. They were able to catch that on Twitter. They were able to catch it. And they steered the lady over to customer service. They dealt with her personally. They got her checked in, and all was well. See, it's how you handle it. She jumps back onto Twitter, and she says, now that is what I call service. I will never fly with anyone else. Okay? And if we talk about bad press, what's just happened there is the bad experience to good is worth absolute gold. All right. So good comments and good reviews are worth thousands of dollars in revenue, tens of thousands. And again, if you relate to your own experience, when you read those good reviews, you make those decisions. Those great customer experiences make. I really want to show you. I'm actually going to open it up. This is not one of those times where I just do a lot of talking here. I'm going to show you the inside of this program. It's web-based, accessible from anywhere in the world. Mac, PC. As we said, we've got our own iPhone and Android apps, but iOS compatible and the iPad and everything, anywhere in the world. It's your own web monitor 24/7, and it allows interaction at the point of contact. And this is absolutely huge. And I'm going to show you. So what do I mean by the point of contact? If somebody tweets about that business, then you can answer them on Twitter. If they post a review on YouTube, you can reply on YouTube. And I want to show you how this works. So this is the inside of the dashboard. Can you guys see this? I just want a couple of people to jump into the chat box and tell me that you can see it. Jump in. Can we see it? Guys, I'm looking at the questions. Yep, we can see it. Yep. All right, so we can see it. Great. This is the inside of the dashboard. Okay. Now, the way this works is really, really simple. Okay, very, very simple. What we do is we literally create alerts. Okay, so we can create alerts on brand names, on product names, on personnel, on locations, on competitors, and you can literally get alerts in seconds. So if I set up one on brand names, and I'm doing this live, brand names, there we go, brand names, and you know, so we might be Starbucks, all right, or I might be Tire Power, or I might be our friends Qantas, or any of the others. And I can say, okay, these are my brand names. This is what I want to monitor for. And I can look at where that information flow is coming from. And I can say, you know, I'm not really interested if anybody's posting on LinkedIn about this or on forums. I can turn those on or off. I can choose my own languages there as well. And I'll turn all these back on. And I can choose, do I want to get notified immediately or do I just want a daily summary? You know, we can set all this up. And literally that's as hard as it is. Let's create that alert. And you can see in that space of time, it's got 41 mentions. Now, those are big brand names. But here we go. We've got all of this all of these alerts starting to come through. And we can see, for example, LinkedIn is coming through. We've got Tyre Power, North Melbourne. There we go. And as I click on one here, what I end up with is the link that goes straight to that mention, and there it is. Okay. If I'm looking at a tweet, I've got a tweet straight in my hands. There's another Tyre Power straight into it. Okay. Tyre Power is a big brand here in Australia. I'm not sure if you guys have that, but Qantas. There we go. Qantas straight in. The latest tweets from Qantas. Hello. All right, so you can see literally how quick that works. You might be saying, well, that's great for big brands, and you can see it's maxing it out there. So I'm just going to, I'll delete those big brands. But what about something smaller? Okay, what about, it might be, just some small businesses around us here. I've got a couple of testimonials that I'll show you later, but if we create something like one of our testimonial clients, real estate. Okay, so this particular real estate is called Barry Plant Real Estate. Okay, and let's see what we get in a few seconds. Let's see what we can find. There we go. It's coming already. Barry Plant Real Estate. Bang, there it goes. Now, if somebody mentions that word, Barry Plant Real Estate, it's going to pop up here. Okay, so this is literally how hard it is. And if I go back to my alerts here, I can say, right, just show me the Twitter stuff. All right, if I've got information coming through on Twitter. And I can go through and I can say, these are the tweets. All right, there they are. And if I've got a tweet, somebody's mentioned something, I've set up an alert, obviously. I can reply directly on Twitter. Okay, so if somebody's posted something about a particular search term, I can find it straight away. Is that cool? All right, is that something that would be able to help you with that communication? I think it would, but that's not why we're here. We'll talk about that in a second. We've had this business, this program in development for 18 months and more. And as I mentioned, during that time, we've had lots of clients come on board. And this one absolutely blew me away. I'm not sure if you guys know a gentleman named Tom Beal. Tom is an online marketer. He is a business consultant, a business coach, a speaker from stage, a well-known speaker. He's been responsible for 7- and 8-figure launches. That's 10 million, right? So Tom has worked with people like Mike Filsaime, Rich Schefren, Russell Brunson. These guys turned to Tom, right? And this is what Tom had to say. I love the notices and pings that come through to the mobile apps. Being somewhat in the public eye, I don't always get a chance to know when someone saw me in an audience or attended a talk I was presenting. If someone comments, I can interact immediately. Protection of brand and reputation is so crucial. All right, that absolutely blew me away. But that wasn't actually where Tom stopped. Tom was so impressed, he jumped on a video, and I want to play this for you guys. So I'll just check my volume here. Hopefully it comes through.
Hello, my name is Tom Beal, CEO of Remarkable Marketing, and I'm here to chat with you today about reputation management. Unless you've been hiding under a rock, you recognize that it goes well beyond customer service nowadays. It goes to the interwebs. It goes towards social media. There is Twitter, there is Instagram, there is Facebook, and when the stuff starts to roll, it spreads there before it gets to your help desk, before your customer service department is able to help you with your reputation management. There's a tool out there that takes it above and beyond the simple tools that are available to the normal marketplace.
That was Tom Beal, an online legend, a business consultant and coach, and just absolutely thrilled. So the software itself is just rock solid. This one, just a last testimonial, I'm blown away by this. I want to introduce you to a resort called Sapphire. And Sapphire was just recently voted the world's best luxury boutique hotel. All right. And Justin King, who's the general manager. Now, Justin, talking to Justin, they are charging between $2,000 and $2,500 per room per night. And if there's any industry that suffers from reviews, it's hospitality. Justin had this to say: in hospitality, reputation is everything. At Sapphire, we hold the title as voted as the best luxury boutique hotel in the world. That doesn't come easily. Now we're able to monitor and interact with any of our guests or press that are referencing the resort in any media on the web. All right. So brand protection and reputation monitoring is a big tick. Monitoring unlimited keywords. Unlimited keywords and brand protection. But what about more sales. We heard from real estate and our electrician friend, when we're talking to businesses, one of the things that they say, sure, let's protect our reputation, and I can understand that that's important, but how are you going to help me make more money? So how to use as a system to generate the hottest kinds of leads there is. And I really mean the hottest kind. When businesses normally advertise, what they do is they shout their message to the masses, right? They put up a billboard, or they put up an ad on TV, or, a campaign of advertising, and they hope they catch the attention of somebody that's looking for their business or service right now. What we're doing is we're literally finding people who are looking for our business now. And let me show you what I mean. So we're going to go back, and I'm going to cruise over here, and let's set up an alert for some lead generation. So I'm going to create an alert for lead generation. Okay, and I'm doing this live, so I don't know what I'm going to find here. But so let's say if we're looking for, does anybody know a good personal injury lawyer in Chicago? Okay, Chicago, like that. What about a chiropractor in Sydney? Or what if we were looking for I don't know, an Indian restaurant in London? Okay, what can we do with this? Let's see if we can find some results straight away. Lead generation, here we go. Boom, some chiropractor. Now this might be a competitor. Maybe this is a competitor, but we've got Indian restaurants in London. Now, what's happened is if somebody jumps onto their social media, and this is where things happen quickly, right? So what happens is people ask their social circles first, does anybody know a good chiropractor in New York? Okay, they ask their friends and family for those recommendations. And if you've got those alerts set up, guess what happens? Your phone goes bzz, and there's somebody looking for your exact business or service. Tell me that that's not cool. All right, incredibly powerful for businesses, and this is the system we've created. We've got a note system over here, so if I've got a lead here, I can add a note to call. I called them, I did this, I set an appointment, and I can keep that in the file there. So literally an amazing lead generation system. All right. So guys, tell me, is that something that's cool? Is that something that you're looking at and saying, wow, yeah, that's great. All right. Let's have it, guys. I'm just kind of pausing on the screen. There's a heck of a lot of questions there. I'm going to try and go through them a little bit later on, but let's see how I go. I'm getting a lot of people coming in with their answers there, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. Cool. Everybody's saying it's great. Steve says it sounds good so far. Totally awesome, Walt. Can we do multiple businesses? Tim, yes, you can. Amazing concept. Gail, thank you. So far, so good. Yes, awesome. Very cool. Glenn, good to see you, buddy. How's the trucking business? Like the notes, totally wonderful, cool. Wow, this is awesome, guys. Somebody said gimme. Yeah, that's where we're going to get to. So let's get to that, because that's why we're here, right? The software is cool, it's awesome, but that's not why we're here. That's not why you guys hit this webinar. So let's talk about why we're here. So that's lead generation. Do you think it's a powerful tool for business? We've said that, right? Protect their brands and reputation, unlimited keywords, generate more business with lead generation, make more sales, and deliver service like never before. Do you think businesses will want it, right? I can tell you categorically they do. That same article in the Telegraph noted that over 51% of businesses, when they surveyed 1,000 business owners, 51% of them, that's 1 in 2, said that they'd experienced the reviews or they were worried about it in the future. So even if they hadn't had something bad happen, they were worried that they would. They knew about it and they're looking for it. Okay, do you think businesses need it? Again, if we look at these figures and we talk about $3,000 per customer and we're losing just 4 a month, an annual loss of $144,000, yeah. They need it. Do you think they should invest in it when they've got those protection? You can literally put that insurance policy in place to have monitoring for you, generating more leads, making more sales. If the potential loss, do you think businesses, if they're faced with $100,000 potential loss, do you think, now wait,